Video number 2, what up scrubs? Last time I talked to you about scaling, introduced you to scaling and how it works in Dragon Ball FighterZ. I told you to remember 2 main points. 1, that your starter determines which type of scaling your combo will have, and 2, that every hit of your combo will move you 1 tick down the scaling. In this video I'm going to explain a couple of things. 1, how I lied and not every move will move you 1 tick down the combo scaling. Some moves count as more than 1 hit towards scaling. 2, I'm going to be talking about assists, how they factor into scaling, and how that's related to the first point. And 3, I'm going to be talking about what you're going to be using this information for, how you're going to work it into the decision making process when you're making your own combo or optimizing a combo. Alright, let's get into our first example. Gogeta, newest character, super hype. This character, his scaling is a nightmare. Optimizing combos for this guy is so difficult, and you're about to get a taste of why. It's 5S, 900 damage, 1 instance of damage. 2S, 900 damage, also 1 instance of damage. That's pretty crazy, right? Heavies in this game do 850 damage. Why does he casually have 2 moves that deal more than a heavy and combo into each other? This is a character that can combo its heavy, into heavy, into heavy. So why isn't his damage fucking ridiculous? I'm going to give you guys a little exercise. You watched my first video, you know how to calculate how much damage a certain hit of a combo will do. We're going to do a combo, 2M into 5S into 2S. Let's work that out together. 2M does 100% damage because it's the first hit of the combo. It's a type 1 scaling move, so we're in the type 1 scaling row. Second hit is the beam, 900 damage. 90% of 900 is 810. The third hit, which is also a beam of 900 base damage, will do 80% of that. 80% of 900 is 720. 720. Let's see how much it deals. 630. That is 70% instead of 80%. And that's because Gogeta's beams count as 2 hits towards scaling. So what does that mean? That means that, well, conceptually, instead of being 1 move that deals 900 damage more than a heavy, it instead counts as 2 moves that deal 450 damage, which is slightly more than a light. This one piece of information, just knowing how this move scales, actually turns this move from one of the best combo moves in the game to one of the worst combo moves in the game. So we mentioned this guy's beams count as 2 hits towards scaling. Fun fact, his MDP counts as 3 hits towards scaling. 2 of his core combo moves in the corner all count as multiple hits towards scaling, and they're both really bad on a per hit basis. His beams are 450 per hit, 2 instances of 450. His 214M deals a total damage of 1270 and counts as 3 hits towards scaling, which is around 420 damage per hit. So what's it? That's it. You're just fucked. You're just forced to deal with these poorly scaling moves. No, you're not. Gogeta has his Rekkas. His L Rekkas have 650 base damage, and his M Rekkas have 700 base damage. Every hit of his Rekkas counts as 1 hit towards scaling. So per hit, his Rekkas do much better than his beams and his MDP. This phenomenon of having moves that count as more than 1 hit towards scaling is not something unique to Gogeta. It's on a character by character basis, and even a move by move basis. You should know how each move for your favorite character scales your combo to know how you're going to want to use them in a combo. You have to do that research on your own, but there is some information about your favorite character that I can give you right now. Your favorite character's assist counts as 2 hits towards scaling. All assists in this game count as 2 hits towards scaling, and most of them have a base damage of 800. That means that per hit, assists are like 2 quick jabs. 2 quick 5Ls, 2 quick lights. And that's not good for the beginning of combos, right? So that means we don't want to use assists in the beginning of our combos. We might use them at the end. But sometimes we do see people using assists at the beginning of their combos. This gets us more into combo theory. Why would you use something that scales your combo further in the beginning of a combo? This is where we get into the craft of making a good combo. If your character has a really good move that he can't combo into by himself, at least not without ruining his combo scaling, you might want to use something like an assist or a combo or a move that scales the combo poorly to be able to get to those really good moves. For example, Team Gohan's bombs is 2S. This is his best combo move. Deals 2 instances of damage, 1 instance of 600 and 1 instance of 700. Really quickly, and he can get multiple of them in a row, and after it, he can do basically whatever he wants after he gets bombs. It's his best combo move, but his problem is that he has a lot of trouble comboing into them by himself. So what do you gotta do? You gotta throw in an assist there. And suddenly, you got 3 bombs. Each one having a base damage of 1,400. And that's ridiculous. This is an obvious case using an assist, but sometimes, like with Gogeta, his moveset is so limited in combo flexibility that he has to use his beams to get his good damage in. The reason why you'll see Gogeta's using his beams at the beginning of his combos is because his combo routes are limited. The character is unable to combo into his better scaling moves, so he has to use his poorly scaling moves. And this is another thing that's on a character by character basis, and this is how they balance characters around it. Gogeta is balanced around having moves with crazy high base damage values, but giving them additional scaling. This means that Gogeta is a monster once the combo has become scaled, but he's very difficult to really take advantage of the low scaling at the beginning of a combo. We learned a lot of stuff in this video, and there's a lot of things to think about. What we can actually do right now is kind of think of the ideal combo structure for Gogeta. Gogeta ideally would want to start his combos with a type 1 starter, 2M or 5H. Then he'd want to do something that deals a lot of damage and doesn't scale the combo very much. So something like his M-Rekas. The problem is, after his M-Rekas, he can't combo by himself. So we might want to throw in an assist there. So far we've got mediums into Rekas into assist. At that point, we've probably done around 7 or 8 hits. We're pretty far down the scaling tree. We're at 30% at least. So at this point, it's okay to go ham with all the moves that scale like trash. Throw in all the beams you want, throw in all the full jump M's you want, and then find some way to end in super. And there you go. That's probably a super optimal combo for Gogeta. What do people generally do with Gogeta? I think it's like 2M, 5M, MTP. They always do this beams into super dash. And this is what I don't like. 5,641 for supers. We can probably do better than that. $5,725. Get fucked, internet. Alright, in this video we talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about how not all moves count as one hit towards scaling. We talked about how moves can count as multiple hits towards scaling, and how that means that they're bad to use at the beginning of combos if their damage per hit is not worth it. We used the information that we gathered about Gogeta's moveset to discuss what his optimal combo route would look like, and we made a more optimal combo than what people typically use with Gogeta. It's very easy to improve your character's combos simply by knowing how they scale and implementing that knowledge into your combos. We talked about assists and why you'd want to use them if your character's combo path doesn't allow them to use their better scaling moves. And Super Dash counts as one hit towards scaling and deals 300 damage. So it's not really that good, but really, when you use it, you can't avoid it, so, you know, always jump MLL, never jump LML, drink lots of water, sleep well, peace. What people typically go for with Gogeta is something like 2M, 5M, jump M. What do people typically go for with Gogeta? 2M, 5M, MTP.